Hello and welcome back to my channel. You guys, I have been gathering myself to film this video, composing myself, trying to get all my thoughts in a row because I have so much to say and I really don't want to forget like any of it. Originally, I was just gonna sit down and like put this all in a vlog, but then I really thought about it and I was like, no, this deserves its own moment. This deserves its own speech. We're also gonna do things a little different in the sense that I really want to treat this like if we're on FaceTime. So this video is gonna have very little editing. Like I just want to get this video done and upload it as quickly as I possibly can because I just want to get these thoughts out there and I want to feel heard and validated and just trauma bond. I know that's a lot. That's like a lot to put on you guys, but I want to trauma bond. We did just come back from Disneyland, Disney Adventure, Anaheim, California, Southern California, whatever. We did just come back and I came back to a bunch of PR packages and I literally also have enough makeup in front of me that is brand new for a full face. So we are also going to do a full face of brand new makeup while we're getting ready, while I'm trauma dumping on you, and it's gonna be a great time, guys. By the way, I'm using the Beauty Stat Triple Plump Coconut Milk Serum just to kind of give my skin some hydration because my skin has been so dry. I think all the traveling, being in different climates has not necessarily been the best to my skin, and I'm gonna put a full face of brand new products on it. You guys, pray for my skin because I will trauma dump you again. I'll do it. We have a lot of new makeup. We have makeup from Ofra, Era Perez, Caudalie, Pacifica, Rare, Laura Mercier. We got a lot of new. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my SPF. I'm really curious about using this one from Caudalie. I love Caudalie. I feel like Caudalie can do no wrong. Why are you coming out? Are you tinted? Why are you coming out brown, dog? It doesn't say tinted. It's coming out brown. I don't know if I like this. What if it's expired? The way I'm still putting it on my skin though. I've been through enough, guys. Honestly, if poopy brown sunscreen is what I'm dealing with, honestly, I'll take it. Because what we went through in Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. Where, Mary? Where? Let's take this from the back, shall we? So a few months ago, this video is still alive. You guys can go watch it. It's a great video. It's a great time. My husband made a video on his channel where he got me everything I had asked for during the year. And one of the things that I have been asking to do because I am 30 years old, or I was. No, I am. I currently still am. And I had never been to Disneyland, ever. My parents never took me. I didn't go on a school field trip. Nobody ever loved me enough to take you on. Trauma, whatever. So my lovely husband not only surprised me, but he surprised our children with the trip. By the way, I'm using the Glow and Grip Primer by Ofra. This one is also kind of brown, but it does seem more purposeful because there's glitter in it. This is the skin of a killer Bella. I was very excited. I've never been. I've heard through the grapevine and the commercials and literally everybody's butthole. It's the happiest place on earth. It's the best place ever. You're gonna have the greatest time ever. Buckle up, because you're in for a ride you're never gonna forget. That last part was true. Let me just say, we live in Sacramento. Well, we live in a suburb of Sacramento because we don't technically live in Sacramento. I don't know if I like this primer, Mary. About a 6-hour drive, you know, with including stops, including rest breaks, about a 6 to 7 hour drive from Anaheim, which is where Disneyland is located. And let me say, you know what? Highlight of the trip, we have 2 kids, Autumn, who is about to be 11, so currently 10. Jameson, who isn't about to be 4 because he just turned 3, so he's 3. Autumn has ADHD. Jameson has autism. That's not necessarily important to the story, but I do feel like it's important that you guys know this. They did so good on the drive down. So good. They didn't really fight. I think Autumn got annoyed with her brother once, if that. Jameson did so well. He slept most of it. And then every time we stopped, we took him out of his car seat. He stretched his legs a bit. Autumn and I went and got Starbucks. Like it was a good trip down. And then we got there and we prepared for the next day. Brandon got us 2-day passes, but one day was going to be the California Adventure Park. The second day was going to be Disneyland. First day, We had already made plans that we weren't going to wake up the kids early because we wanted to let Autumn sleep because we didn't want to deal with a grumpy kid. Autumn is not a morning person, and as much as we have tried it, you guys, we have gotten to the point in our parenting journey with her that we don't really try and change her because it's who she is. She's just not a morning person. We as parents are just trying to learn to adapt with it so as to not have a grumpy kid, because one grumpy kid is going to affect the other kid, and then that would mean math. We would have 2 grumpy kids. So the plan was to just let her sleep. Like, just sleep as much as you can. I don't care. And we were all gonna sleep because we were tired, because again, we drove down. I'm using the Pacifica Glow bronzing drops. I've never tried this before, guys. Literally just took it out of the packaging. I got this in PR. Thank you, Pacifica. We love you. This is the Sunny Glow bronzing drops, vitamin C, Kakadu Plum. What? Caco what? I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the plan was let the kids sleep in as much as possible. But guess who didn't want to sleep in? So, Jameson is the opposite of his sister in the sense that he is in fact a morning person. He will wake up at 7 a.m. every single day of his life and have the energy of a brand new battery. Like he's just ready to go. You guys, he was up by like 7:30. He was not just like, I'm awake in bed by 7:30. No, he was like up running around in the hotel. He was opening doors, he was climbing on tables, he was opening and shutting cabinets. He was up, like he was up. And I don't know if I like this look, guys. I don't think I like this primer. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I like this primer. It's weird. So Jameson's awake. And because of that, Brandon's awake. Because Jameson is 100% like obsessed. And I mean like he is a daddy's boy, obsessed with his dad, because dad has gotten him very used to if Jameson wants to play, Brandon does not say no to him. We did not really sleep. We drove all day the day before. And yes, while it was a calm drive because the kids weren't fighting, it's still a drive. It's still a drive, Mary. It's still a drive nobody wants to do. It takes a toll on your body. It's just not ideal. Okay, so my brows look like a can of Bounce That Ass, but it's fine. Where were we? For concealer, I got a bunch of new products from Ofra, and in those products, I got their Perfect Cover Concealer, which I'm really excited about because I've actually tried products from Ofra back before they rebranded. So Brandon and I actually get into a little spat in the morning because we had already made plans. I think in my brain that is not the greatest to come up with ideas and situations. My brain goes, okay, so because our plan kind of got like already messed up in the sense that we were supposed to let the kids sleep in, what we planned in my brain wasn't what was happening. So I tell him, do you want to just wake up Autumn? Again, bad decision on my part. Do you just want to wake up Autumn and let's go get the day started? Let's go to Disney. And he kind of gets upset at me because again, I changed plans. And here's the thing, guys, I'm on his side. I know I'm different in this scenario. Like I'm on the opposite end, but like I am on his side because I also don't like it when we set up plans and then plans get changed up on me. Like pineapples, if there ever was one, I don't like it either. So I understand 100% when he got upset, why he got upset, and I was like, well, I'm taking it back, but let me explain to you why I'm kind of changing plans now, because plans were changed. We didn't sleep in. Boy is up, might as well wake girl up, let's get day started. That's where my brain went. So we wake up girl. I think because she knew where we were and we were in Disneyland, you would think she would wake up and be more excited that we were waking her up to go do something exciting. Here's the thing about my daughter though. Autumn is going to be who Autumn is going to be no matter what the circumstance, okay? She's not a morning person here. She's not going to be a morning person for Disney. She did wake up in a grumpy mood. She was already doing that thing that kids do where they ask questions that they know the answer to just so they can kind of pick a fight. Do other kids do that? Moms out there? Like, I swear to God, if you guys tell me I'm alone in this, I will throw away my firstborn. But anyways, she's doing that. She's annoyed at every little thing. Jameson does. She is in that big sister phase where she's getting very bossy, and we're trying very hard to kind of snap her out of that habit, because as much as I understand that the older sibling is always going to be like the third parent in some way, but we really are trying to break her out of that habit of being a parent. And if Jameson is acting up, leave it up to mom and dad to discipline. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be your job. But she was already like not disciplining him, but like if he jumped or was too loud, she was very quick to be like, Jameson. And he was up and away, guys. There's just so many energies radiating off of that boy. So we pack everything up. We packed up our stroller, which is a lark tail or something. I don't know, but it's a wagon, you guys. Hold on, my husband texted me. This video is gonna be so long, I hope you don't mind. Guess who was not aware that wagons are strictly prohibited in Disneyland or in any of the Disney whatever parks? Guess. Exactly. We confidently went to the gates with our stroller. Mind you, let me backtrack a little bit. You guys, we're in a different place. Brandon doesn't understand the parking situation. That's the one thing in life that will give him an anxiety attack. He could be as calm as can be, but the second you say, we don't really know the parking situation, it'll send him into a panic. We got into a garage. We couldn't find the preferred parking, even though we bought preferred parking. He's in a strange place. Already I can tell like his anxiety is like up here. Also, we're going into another place. Anxiety up here. Also, we're going into a very crowded place with two kids, and one is known to just run off and wander. Already up here. And I can tell, like, I know my husband. I've known him for years. Like, I know him as a friend. I know him as a person. Like, I just know him. He was already like at a level 9 when we got to the parking structure. It only gets worse because I am an empathetic human being, and as much as I know in my brain, it's your job to be the calm, it's your job to be the it's fine. I'm also kind of freaking out because I pick up on energies, and I know that Autumn is grumpy. I know that Jameson hasn't had his nap and he woke up very early. And then we get again to the gates before the little trains. I'm using this mini eyeshadow palette by Lottie London, and it's so funny because we get stopped by security before we even get into the line. We get stopped, and this lady legit asks us, hey folks, or hey friends. I don't remember what she said. That's not important, because what followed after was, what's the reason for the wagon? I said, oh, we have a 3-year-old boy and we need space for him. He's autistic. I don't remember if I said that he's autistic, but before I even finished my sentence, she goes, yeah, so here's the thing, folks. Wagons are strictly prohibited in Disneyland. So you could either surrender the hoe, she didn't say hoe, or you can go back to your car, come back, and we could try this again. What? It's a stroller, Mary. It's literally a stroller, and the reason we took the stroller, guys, was because that wagon fits both Jameson and Autumn. So if for some reason Autumn was like, I'm tired, like I don't want to walk around so much, or I just want to sit somewhere in shade, or I don't know. We literally brought the wagon for that reason. So Brandon, being calm and collected and amazing, goes, okay, so if we surrender it, can we like pick it up later? And they go, no, you cannot. If you surrender it, you're never gonna see this wagon again. First of all, that's weird. What are y'all doing with these wagons? Everybody's surrendering. Also, dramatic word for just, hey, we're gonna take it from you and you're never gonna see it again. Like, surrender, it's a lot. Calm down. You're not Gettysburg. So we walk up to the parking garage. We drop off our wagon. We put it in the truck, walk with Jameson in hand into the park, into the tram, because we decide, hey, once we get into the park, we're going to find a double stroller, because we wanted a double stroller to be able to carry our stuff. I'm getting frustrated right now. And I know what you're thinking, Gloria, it doesn't sound that bad. It gets worse. We walk through downtown Disney trying to find a stroller, because we were told in downtown Disney you can find a stroller. I don't know what it is about, like, maybe it's me. I'll take this one on the chin if I have to. But people giving directions in Disneyland, like, it's something you should know. Like, I feel like they're directions that can be given to somebody who has been there before or somebody who knows the area. Because we literally walked up to one of the gift shops and we're like, hey, we're just wondering where we can find a stroller because we desperately need a stroller for our son who was already getting grumpy. Oh yeah, you can find it right next to like Pixie Dust or whatever. Okay, where is that? We had to ask for directions to get to one store thrice. And each person was like, oh, it's by this thing. I don't know where this thing is. I'm not a left or right person, but I'm so good at, you walk all the way down there. There's a churro shop. You make a this way and then it's there. There's a tree. If you walk past the tree, you've gone too far. Like, I'm so good at that. I'm not a north or south. I'm not a left to right person. You can dumb it down more for me. But it was almost impossible to find the stroller. We were navigating through crowds with a 3-year-old who's getting grumpy and a 10-year-old who woke up grumpy. And even though we were told, yeah, you can buy double strollers in Disney. Where? I hope this concealer is good, guys. I'm actually really nervous. And the ones that we found weren't double strollers. It was just a single little rinky-dink boot scooting ass stroller. So we keep walking and we are like, you know what, let's just get into the park, find the double stroller in the park, because out here in downtown Disney all I got was the single stroller. So frustrated already because of us having to surrender our stroller, which we didn't do. We put it in the back of the truck, hopefully, and thank God it didn't get stolen. That was literally in the back of my brain. I was like, we're about to get this stroller stolen. And that wagon that Disney is too freaking good for was way too expensive. We finally get to the gates of California Adventure. We're like, you know what? We'll find the double stroller in here. Everything's gonna be all cool in the neighborhood. No worries here. And then we get to the gates, guys. And this is where it just kept going. So Brandon, I don't know how he does this, but he is so known for doing this, which is why a lot of the times for a lot of things, I like to get the reservations for things. I like to book the tickets. He bought 2 pairs of tickets because of some reason. I don't remember what happened the first time. Also, I don't like this concealer. But he bought 2 sets of tickets and he scans first because he has the tickets. And the lady who's scanning is like, I can't accept this. I can't accept this. I can't accept this. She tries it twice, I believe, or 3 times. No, she tries it twice and then she goes, let me try it one more time because I don't know. Because he was like, I bought 2 reservations and the other ones were canceled, but these ones should be fine. Like, I canceled the other ones, so these ones should be okay. The second he said that, I instinctually was like, I got anxiety. But it doesn't matter. I was like, you know what? We're gonna figure it out right now. It's totes okay. No worries. Now, me being the person that picks up on energies, knowing that Brandon is getting very anxious standing in line, trying to figure out something that's on his phone. He's like, all right, let's step out of line. And we're literally standing at those green gates. And I finally was like, you know what? Let's just go to Starbucks. Let's sit in air conditioning because it was hot. Sit down, figure it out while you're sitting. I'll get you your pink drink. I'll get the kids some food. Like, it'll be fine. Because I know also that Autumn was feeling a little hangry and that wasn't helping either. So I made the executive decision. We all walked to Starbucks. Before we even got to Starbucks, or before we really even entered, I think Brandon had already fixed the issue. But I said, let's just chill here for a second. Let's eat our croissants. Let's eat our egg bites. Have some of your drink. And then we will try this again once we're all fed and we can go back in with a different energy, because you guys, it really was so much so quickly that I seriously was like, we just need an energy cleanse. I'm gonna use the La Mercier powder. This is their translucent honey. You guys, at Starbucks, I've never been at a Starbucks that was more crowded, and I don't want to offend anybody there because I understand crowd. It was busy. It was on and poppin'. You're literally right outside of Disneyland. Like, I get it. But I went in there wanting to order an iced coffee, but I saw the color the coffees were coming out just consistently, and I was like, nope, I'm not even gonna risk it. So I didn't order my iced coffee. I ordered Brandon's pink drink. It was pretty, and it was actually pretty good. I ordered my croissant. I ordered my egg bites. I ordered the kids some food as well. Brandon was like, I'm pretty sure I solved it. If not, I have no idea what else to do. And we scanned right on in there, guys, and we were like, good to go jeans. I asked for a stroller and they directed us to a little gas station that was literally right at the entrance of the park. And we got to the little gas station again, just a single little rinky-dink strollers. And I looked at Brandon and I looked at the stroller And he was like, let me just ask, babe, please let me just ask, because we really were set on the double stroller. And so we went up to the cashier. We were like, we noticed the strollers outside. Do you guys by any chance have any more, still being so hopeful, is there any chance you guys have any more double strollers? And they were like, oh no, like, Disney Parks only sells these. We do not sell double strollers here. So lying Veronica from the gates did her thing. I think what they meant was you can rent double strollers at Disney, because you could also just rent single strollers at Disney. But we didn't want that, you guys. We're like, all right, we're in here. The kids are fine. We've kind of eaten something. There's something in our bellies. Kids are good for now. We have a stroller. It's not the one we want, but let's make the best out of it. You know, we, honest to God, guys, we really were trying so hard to stay positive throughout this whole thing. I'm gonna go ahead and do some eyeliner real quick while this makeup sets. This is from Wet n Wild. I actually bought this one, guys. I love this brown eyeliner. It's like $4. I buy them off of Amazon, and I get asked all the time where your brown eyeliner's from. Wet n Wild, $4 on Amazon. I have it linked on my storefront. Really nervous about trying this next product because I, honest to God, don't know how to use powder foundation. I feel like I should, because I started, like, that's how I started using makeup, was using powder foundation. But now the way I do my concealer and how I use so many cream products, like, I'm actually like terrified. And here's the thing, guys, I'm not even sure if this is a foundation powder. It says finishing powder. But anyways, Jameson's in the stroller. Autumn is already a little grumpy because when we went to the store to get the stroller, she was like, I want a hat, because Jameson had a hat, I had a hat, Brandon had a hat. And she again was in that mood where she was almost asking questions just so she could have an argument, like just so she could pick a fight, be grumpy, like have an excuse to be grumpy. And I told her, pick out a hat, because I didn't want to deal with it. And also, like, we were more than willing to get her a hat because I also didn't want her, you know, to burn. So I told her, get a hat. I don't like any of the hats here. Okay, Autumn, we'll go to another store. So we walk past Adventure World, I don't know, wherever the Avenger thing was. I thought she would be excited because she would see her last name like on the Stark Industries thing. She was honestly like whatever about it. Jameson could care less about it. So we just kept walking and we found ourselves in Cars Land, where they have that like Luigi ride. I was gonna say bumper cars, but it's not bumper cars, but it's like the Luigi ride, which I got in line the completely wrong way. I think I snuck it. Like, I could have cut so many people, but I didn't, because I'm a good person that was just following my curious little autistic boy into the gates. I was holding on to Jameson and I got into line, and then I was wondering where Brandon and Autumn were, and we had parked our stroller. So I got out of line and then I went to go check on them, and Brandon goes, Autumn doesn't want to ride this ride. And I about lost it on her, because I understand that she was grumpy. I understand that she's not a morning person. I understand that we didn't let her really sleep. I get it. But there comes a point, guys, where you really just gotta discipline your kid. Just because things aren't going their way doesn't mean you get to just be grumpy. And this was a ride we all wanted to experience, and I wanted everybody to experience, because this was one of those rides where all of us could have actually ridden it. So I got into her face. I literally was like, you need to suck it up. Just because we couldn't find your hat, just because you woke up early, I don't care. Like, suck it up, get in line, deal with it. Like, just deal with it. Like, I hated to be the parent that's yelling at my kid at Disneyland or like getting on her case, but I was, okay? Not my proudest moment, but I was, because I'm not trying to raise a little butthole that just because she doesn't get her way means she gets to be grumpy and treat other people with disrespect and ruin the moment for everybody else. I was like, your brother's so excited for this ride, suck it up. We all want to experience this. She does. She gets in line. We wait in line. The line takes forever. It's not that the line is taking forever necessarily, but you guys, we are in the sun. We're in the heat. Jameson was so excited for this ride. We finally get to the front of the ride. It's our turn once these people leave. So we're at the point where we're out of the line. We're in like the waiting area, the limbo, the in-between. I'm so excited because Jameson is so excited. He cannot wait. We were all ready to the point where we were walking to go pick our card. And all of a sudden, the people call over the intercom, whatever, the microphone, and they go, please step away from the cars and go back to waiting in line. We're having issues with this ride. Of course. Of course the ride decides to take a huge poop. Just divine. So I had to pull Jameson back because we decided Brandon was gonna ride the ride with Autumn, because Autumn didn't want to ride the ride with me because she was upset with me because I chewed her little butt out. So she was like, I want to ride with my boobs. Fine, I'll ride with Jameson. So I had to take Jameson from the car he picked. He picked a red car and he was so upset. He started throwing a fit. I had to offer him the phone. He didn't want the phone. I offered him singing. I offered him counting. I offered him so many things. He wouldn't have it until I kind of sat him up on this tree thing and we were playing around and he was finally calming down. They were announcing that the ride was going to take a while to fix. We were willing to wait the time because we had already waited in line. And then, like clockwork, Jameson throws up all over himself and a little bit on me, and I turned to Brandon, who was talking to Autumn, and I go, Jameson just threw up. And he immediately grabbed Autumn's hand and said, let's go. We walked over to the stroller. Thank God I packed extra clothes because I'm a mom and I'm well aware of these situations. We changed him. We put the vomit shirt under the stroller, and then we went to go get him water. We made sure he drank water. We walk around the park just a little bit more as we wanted to go find Mater, hopefully. And then Jameson starts getting very fussy and does not want to be in his stroller anymore. And when Jameson whines, obviously it's not fun for anybody to hear him whine. Like I can't tell you one person that I know in my life that's like, oh, I love it when babies cry and scream and throw tantrums. I get it, but Autumn gets so triggered when her brother cries. Like she's already in a bad mood. She's already also very fussy. And so we sit at a bench because I know Jameson's tired. Like he wants his nap and he wants his bed and he wants to rest. I tell Brandon, who at this point, and this is no fault of our own that we are this way, but we are both this way, and we have just come to the realization that it is a very chaotic thing that we both are this way, but we both are this way. When we are overwhelmed, none of us wants to make decisions. Like I'm the type of person, when I'm overwhelmed, I want to shut my brain off. I don't want to think. I don't want to try to come up with solutions. And Brandon is the same way, if not worse, because he completely shuts down. He doesn't speak up, gets to the point where he doesn't even talk loud anymore. The more frustrated he gets, the more he mumbles, which frustrates me to no end. We sit on the bench and I think we both eventually call the audible and we're like, let's just go back to the hotel and try this later on at night because it's hot. These kids are miserable. Jameson needs his nap. Autumn is not having it. Like, let's just go and we'll try again when the sun is going down because we cannot do this in the heat. I was so terrified that Jameson was getting heat poisoning or like sun poisoning. And we walk out of the park, and because we don't know the area so well, and because people don't know how to give directions, think they can just give directions to locals and people who have been there. We have never been there. I've never been there before. Brandon has been there once, but Brandon is terrible with remembering places. Walk out the wrong gate to go load up on the tram. And I literally stood under the shade and asked, hey, we are in the Pixar parking lot. And she was like, oh, you're in the Toy Story one. You're gonna have to go the other way. And I was circling back because I never even left the shaded area. Never even left the shade. And she goes, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go wait in line to go back into the park to go out the other way. So because we set foot into the shaded area, that automatically meant we were out of the park and we couldn't just walk right back in there. No. We were sent back out. At that point was when I started losing it. Like, I'm so happy Brandon jumped in when he did, because he literally jumped in and was like, oh, so we're just gonna line up out here and then we can go to that side and we can load up on the tram and that tram will take us to this business side. Perfect, awesome, babe, let's go. I think he knew I was going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I didn't even set foot. I'm asking you a question, but because I'm asking you a question, I'm automatically outside of the park. Like, I was going to lose my mind. And I remember walking with Jameson already falling asleep in a stroller, which is not what I wanted. And Brandon, you know, keeping an eye on Autumn, and Brandon finally turns to me and goes, I think this is the worst day of my life. Are you frustrated? Are you frustrated with me? And I immediately was like, yes. No, I wasn't frustrated with him. I wasn't frustrated with the kids. I was definitely frustrated at the situation, and I was very frustrated at all the energy that I was picking up because, you guys, it was a lot. And for an empath like me who can pick up the energy off of this camera, I was not having it. I hurt Brandon's feelings when I said that, not necessarily meaning what I said. So Brandon and I got grumpy at each other the whole way back to the entrance of the park. We kind of talked about it in the car, and I told him, really good about asking me like, hey babe, what do you need right now? Like, what do you need? Like, I know we're both going through it, but what do you need? And I told him, babe, I need a coffee. Like, I need a nice coffee. I need my iced coffee because I don't want them to mess up the order, because this is also something I didn't mention to you guys, and I didn't even mention to Brandon. On the way down, yes, the kids were great. Everywhere we stopped, they messed up my iced coffee. I'm not really a Starbucks drinker anymore because I've learned to make my iced coffee at home, literal perfection. But when I go out, I'm so specific with my order, but I very clearly lay it out. I order the same exact thing every single time. I say, I would like a brown sugar shaken espresso. Add a pump of hazelnut, which I feel like what they hear is, I want a brown sugar shaken espresso, no brown sugar, but add a pump of hazelnut. No, Mary, no. A brown sugar shaken espresso as is, because I didn't make any modifications there. Just add a pump of hazelnut. We stopped, I think, at 2 Starbucks on the way down. Went to pee and went to actually get a coffee. They both messed up my orders. But anyways, for the blush, you guys, I got these blushes from Makeup by Mario, and I'm so excited because I love Makeup by Mario blushes. This is in the shade Soft Peach. Let's hope the blush makes it better, because blush makes everything better. I should have worn more blush when I was at Disneyland, but I didn't want to wear a lot of makeup because I don't like the feeling of makeup on me when I'm outside and it's hot. We talked about it in the car. Postmated us pizza because we were all hungry and we were wanting to eat at the park. I really just wanted a corn dog. I really wanted like a hot dog. I wanted a pretzel. I wanted a churro. Like, I was so ready to be bad. Like, I'm a pretty healthy eater in general, guys. I'm very conscious of when I eat and when I eat bad. When you go to Disneyland, you don't go in with the idea that like, I'm gonna be healthy here. No, you go in with the idea that I'm gonna eat churros and soft pretzels and deep fried corn dogs, and that like, this is gonna be my treat. I didn't get any of that, so Brandon was like, let's just Postmate pizza to the hotel, let's have lunch, and let's make sure this boy naps and gets a full nap. I tried my best to keep Jameson asleep in the stroller. I tried my best to keep Jameson asleep in my arms when we were back on the tram on the way back to the gates. The second I took him out of the stroller and put him in my arms and he heard the car door open, he was awake. He also didn't get a full nap in when he was supposed to get his full nap in, because Jameson is the type of kid who naps for almost 2 hours. Like, he's a really good napper, and he maybe slept for like 45 minutes. From the time that we had to wait in line again to enter the park just to get on the tram, he was asleep in my arms of the tram, he was asleep in the stroller. That took like 45 minutes altogether, almost an hour, and he woke up the second we got back into the truck on our way back to our hotel, which our hotel was not that far, but still, he was awake. I think we all walked in really defeated. Brandon looked at me and was like, babe, there is a Starbucks in walking distance. I'm gonna go get you your coffee. Go for it. Like, go take a walk. We all need a break from each other right now. Like, I get it. Go take a walk. Go give me my coffee, whatever. And all I did was like, I just specified to him, please make sure they do not mess up my order. Please specify exactly what I want. And so he did that. And while Brandon left, I went into Autumn's room because we were in a suite. We each had our own room. I went into Autumn's room. I sat down with her. I apologized for getting on her case so much, but then I explained to her why I was getting on her case. Did have to get called out on a lot of her behavior, and she apologized, and I told her, stay in your room, do whatever you want, but I'm gonna go into the bedroom and I'm going to relax for a little bit. Jameson's playing with his toys. He's fine. I'm keeping an eye on him, but like, I need a breather. She apologized. She went into her room and she watched TV for a little bit, and then we made the decision that we were gonna go back to Disneyland around 5:30 because that would have given us like an hour more of sunlight, and then we would be there when it was literally cooling down, like when the park was cooling down, and we would have our time, you know what I mean? Like, we were gonna have our break. I'm using this highlight from Ofra. The one thing I'm very excited about, because I used to live for Ofra highlights. Back when highlighting was like the thing, I feel like nobody really talked about how good Ofra highlights were. Also, let me make one thing clear, guys, because I feel like I'm gonna have questions about this, because I feel like I've already kind of been getting questions about it. If I vlogged it, if I have like footage of it, I do have some footage of it, and I'll make sure to insert in this video like as much as I can. But again, guys, I'm really not trying to edit this video. I want it to be as raw as can be. Let me start off by saying I am not the greatest influencer or content creator in the wild. I have tried to be. There are moments where I can be. There are moments where I can turn it on and I don't care who's watching. Like I'll put a camera in my face. I was absolutely not in the mood to film or to take my camera out at all. I didn't even take my camera into the park. Everything I took was on my phone, and it was only when I felt comfortable. I had so many like TikToks I wanted to do at Disneyland. I had sounds saved. I had so many things planned, and all that literally went out the window because there was just no way that I was going to be able to balance 2 kids, an anxious husband, my anxiety, and then also film content. But also, guys, it's also just that lingering thing. Like I don't want to call attention to myself, I guess, in that way a lot. It stresses me out. Like it does, you know. Like I could sneak in a video here and there most of the time, but there was no way I could have done it on this trip. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips. I have this new lip liner from Ere Perez. So this is all day 1, and you guys, I'm like basically done with my makeup. Day uno of Disneyland. But we go back to the park and we go in, good energies, good rest. We're all like mentally a little bit more clear. We're all a little bit more de-stressed. We go in with like a clean energy, ready to do it again. And at least now we know what to expect. We go in with the right stroller and we go on the Cars ride, the actual Cars one. We as a family finally got to ride Luigi's car ride or whatever. Don't know if I should use Bonbon or Dayzat. These are new lip glosses from Lawless. I love Lawless lip glosses. I think they're so underrated. Nobody talks about them, but they're so good, you guys. Probably gonna use Day Set. Ooh, she's metallic too. I wasn't expecting this, Mary. Jameson and I went to go find Lightning McQueen and we found him and it was awesome. Then it got to the point where we all started getting fussy because Jameson's the type of kid that we do allow him to have some screen time. We're not the parents that are like, no iPads ever. Like, no, we're definitely believers in phone and iPad time just to keep him kind of calm. But it got to the point where even the phone wasn't helping because we would wait in line and he didn't want the phone. So we were waiting for, I believe it was the Inside Out Emotional Whirlwind ride, and he started getting fussy, and that was pretty much our last ride of the night. And we only got to ride like 3. You guys, we were only there for like an hour and a half, and while it was way better than our first experience, still pretty miserable. But Autumn had a way better time this time around because she got to ride rides. She actually got to ride rides. She got a churro, she got a hot dog, we got our corn dogs, and then we were like, let's call it a wash. Let's end off on a high note before Jameson actually like really throws a tantrum. And then we went to Disneyland the next day. And I'm just gonna speed through this, guys, because I feel like it's all things that most people already know. But Disneyland was miserable because it was so crowded. It's like nobody has consideration for people who are with strollers. We literally had somebody cut us in line, and I literally heard them say, let's just go in front of them because they have a stroller. The lines are ridiculously long. Like ridiculously long. I'm not even going to complain about how expensive things are because you go in knowing that these places are going to be expensive. That wasn't a shocker. That didn't really bother me. I could care less about the price. I already went in with the mentality that this place is an arm and a leg, whatever. We deal with that. That we're going here knowing that. Get to a point in Disneyland, like we find a play area and we lost Jameson. It was maybe like 3-4 minutes, but it was the worst 4 minutes of my life. I don't even know how it happened, but we were in a place where kids can play in like Toontown or whatever, and he was focused on this like water thing that like came up from the ground, and I literally look over for 10 seconds and then I look back and Jameson's not there playing with the water thing. I look up and he's not there. I look up to where he tried to crawl before, but I didn't let him because I was literally following him for the most time. I was chasing after Jameson and there was this wall he really wanted to climb over. I got him off of that a couple times, but in those 10 seconds I think he leapt over that wall. I didn't panic panic immediately because I was like, I'm gonna find them. But I think a minute passed, and a minute in those places without seeing your kid, a nightmare. Autumn immediately started looking, Brandon immediately started like looking, and then I turned and Autumn has her brother in her arms and was like, he like ran right up to me. He was on the slide. Oh, this little brat. I think after that, I was so done with Disneyland. I didn't really want to do anything else. I wanted to be back home, but as much as I wanted to leave, guys, I think Brandon and I also knew like it's not fair for Autumn. She should at least get to ride at least one more ride, and so we waited in line to go ride a ride that she eventually was like, I don't even want to wait in line, this isn't even worth it. So we didn't really even get to ride any rides, guys. It's too crowded. As somebody who hates lines, hates crowds, hates standing in the heat, doesn't like I get so anxious when my kid cries in public, and I know I shouldn't because I'm a mom and it's just something that's gonna happen, but I am considerate of others, and I know that just because my kid's crying doesn't mean I have to ruin somebody else's time. So I'm just overly thinking about that. It was just rough, guys. It was rough. Also, my makeup, not horrible looking, doesn't feel great on my face. I don't think I like this concealer. I'm gonna be so honest. I think the Ofra concealer was a bust. I love the blush. I feel like the blush saved this makeup. The Laura Mercier powder probably also saved this makeup. Let me add that I would have loved to give you guys a happy Disney vlog. To give you guys like a good vlog of the happiest place in the world, but it just was not. I think we can kind of laugh about it now, but in the moment it was miserable. Know that coming on here and listening to somebody vent is not always like the best thing, but I really did feel that I had to make this video because man, do I feel like we were soul alive. I hope this was cool. I enjoyed FaceTiming you guys and telling you guys my woes and sharing with you guys the new makeup. I like the Rare Beauty powders, I really do, and I like this highlight as well. It was pretty kick-ass. And the lip gloss. I love you guys.